Subscribe to our YouTube channel for in-depth interviews of India Inc. and press the bell icon so that you do not miss our updates.
Hello and welcome to Nirmal Bang, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Hiral Datia. We have with us Mr. Ram Gopal Agarwal, Group Chairman at Dhanuka Agritech, joining in. Welcome to the show, Mr. Agarwal. It's a pleasure to talk to you after really long, and I hope all of you and your family are safe in these unprecedented times. Uh, Clearly, let me take my first question with you. These have been unprecedented times. No one really imagined what the impact could have been. And now, when we assess the impact, a lot of sectors, a lot of economies that have seen a major negative impact. However, one sector which has seen daylight throughout has been agriculture. The year has started on a good note. What is your view on the same?
You see, food and nutrition security are such important field which no country can compromise.
Hmm.
You would have observed even this corona period also, our government is distributing to 80 crore people free food for 6 months. Our warehouses were full, so
Hmm.
government could do so. So I will like to clarify some of the
Hmm.
viewers who may not be knowing what are pesticides. So first I will clarify, like we have medicines for human health. Similarly, medicines are for pesticides are medicines for plants.
Correct.
Similar thing. So in agriculture, this year monsoon has been very good throughout the country. Of course, in some area it is disturbed due to heavy rains or flood, but most of the areas it will benefit not only kharif crop but rabi will also be bumper, as
Hmm.
our all water bodies are not only full but overflowing, and water plays the most important role in agriculture. So agriculture is a such an important subject and pesticides are used in agriculture.
Correct.
If you have more rains, then crop health is healthy. And as we like every good thing, so insects also like good looking crops.
Hmm.
So after rains, when temperature rises, there is attack of insects, diseases, and weeds also come. So all these three segments are going to have good scope as not only for my company, but my personal feeling that all agri input sector
Hmm.
should be good this year.
Right. So, that's something that everyone is looking forward to as well. So, if you have to look at agriculture as a sector right now, what is your assessment in terms of FY21? What's the kind of growth you're anticipating?
You see, we are expecting very good growth.
Hmm.
At least I can say good double digit growth.
Right.
But exact forecasting is little bit difficult. But as the trend is, we have seen in our first quarter, and it was extraordinary
Hmm.
because March sale was also postponed in first quarter due to closure, and the inventory was also there,
Hmm.
and there was a panic also in the market
Hmm.
due to corona, import export bans or logistic problem.
Hmm.
So people has purchased in advance also in anticipation. So that was the reason of first quarter very good.
Correct.
And not only we, all of most of the companies was having good growth. Similarly, in whole year,
Hmm.
we are expecting very good growth in agri input sector because we have hardly exploited 5% of this sector so far in our country. which will be clear from this data, which is from Ministry of Agriculture website. Our pesticide consumption is just 300 gram per hectare, while China is 13 kilogram. Japan is 11-12 kilogram. And you see our agriculture area is 142 million hectare. China is 128 million hectare. Our average rainfall is 1000 mm plus and China is 600 mm plus. But their GDP from agriculture is 3 times more than our country. If you take absolute figure of FAO 2016, our GDP from agriculture was $401 billion, while China was $991 billion.
Correct.
Imagine, and just imagine if our agriculture sector contribute $1,200 billion GDP, then where our economy can go. And it was a neglected field earlier, but I will say the present government has realized the potential in agriculture and the decisions which they have taken. For example, freeing the agriculture, compulsion for farmers to sell his produce in only APMC Act, in mandis only, and the price decided by Arthias. Now today he is free to sell his crop anywhere in the country.
Correct.
In whichever market, whatever price, or he can keep in warehouse and on e-market through e-Nam he can sell. Earlier there was limitation of EC Act, you can't store this much or you can't do this, you can't do that. Now all these limitations have been removed. So private sector investment was not coming to agriculture. And unless any sector you do investment, you cannot, and private sector will not like to do investment unless they are assured of reasonable returns. Now private sector is also taking the interest in the agriculture sector. For example, horticulture. You take example of grapes. Our table grapes are well accepted throughout Europe, or they are one of the best grapes in the world, and today we export around our country 2 lakh tons of grapes. But there is potential to double it, triple it. So in cereals today, there will not be much growth. But in agriculture sector like horticulture, vegetable, dairy, poultry, fisheries, all these sectors are going to have phenomenal growth as middle class is increasing. So demand is for good and nutritious food is increasing. And that way horticulture crop is growing very, very fast. And our horticulture production has overtaken cereal production. Cereal production was 295 million ton last year, while our horticulture field has taken 320 million tons production. It has crossed. So in coming time, if you see overall, there is very, very good potential in overall agriculture sector.
Right. So overall, if you go to see in terms of agriculture as well, taking into consideration the uptick that we've seen as well, the government also laid a lot of impetus with regards to where the stimulus package for farmers is concerned, the stimulus package that was announced for the sector as a whole, and that's something which has come in as a blessing as well. And everyone is aware that, farmers are almost getting $100 million in government relief right now. Now, taking all of this into consideration, do you think you will see a good pickup in rural demand as well?
Definitely. If suppose, just I was giving the example, imagine if our GDP from agriculture triples from $400 billion to $1,200 billion, that is possible also. I will share with where we are lacking in our country. Earlier there was compulsion. For you and me, there is no compulsion. We fix our product prices ourselves. But their produce is a farmer and prices are fixed by someone else. Now farmers is having the freedom to sell his produce whenever he wish. He can keep it in warehouses and can sell through auction on Enam wherever he get the best price. If his income will increase, then definitely rural spending is going to increase. And if rural spending will increase, then it will have impact overall in all the sectors.
Mm.
Maybe FMCG goods or maybe house or anything which are, I mean, your most urgent need, or today in cities we live good life. So that way in rural area also young generation aspirations are why the facilities which are available in cities are not available to rural area. And you rightly said the government investment in the infrastructure as well as the funds, for example 1 lakh crore sanction recently by PM to create agri infrastructure in rural areas, warehouses, cold chains, market developments. So all this will facilitate farmers and creation of 10,000 FPOs, which are like limited companies, will be owned by farmers. They will make their group, and as a group, they can consolidate their purchases, they can consolidate their produce and sell and realize much better prices. And for that also government has fixed a huge money, 10,000 crores through NABARD. The funding is there. Government is giving subsidy also, some sort of, there is exemption of income tax for these FPO companies. And there are many other facilities. So many startups are also coming in the field of agriculture where good people, the people from IIT or MBAs from IIM are also entering this field, which was earlier, it was a dream. People who have done MBA from IIM or IIT, they will join agriculture. And such people are entering. And when you see the brain enters, every business matters of the brain. And if brains so far not coming in agriculture because there was no money. Now there is good money in agriculture. For example, I live in Gurugram and I get fresh cow milk and I pay heavily for that because the quality is assured and fresh milk. So people are ready to pay for quality food. So that way people will now, such people who are entering in this sector, they will manage this sector and overall they will, for example, FPO. But there should be some people from urban area to guide these FPOs, what to do, how to earn money. So they will be trained by the professional. Correct. And then they will make money. And if money, then you can understand, money can change everything.
Correct.
And money will change our rural economy.
Right. So overall, currently, if you go to see, we're talking of a higher MSP. Along with that, the stimulus package that the government has already announced, all of this is aiding rural India right now. Do you think this much is enough or something more yet needs to be done by the government?
You see, in my opinion, either you give fish or teach how to fish and give them net. Why government should involve in business? why we should not make our farmers competent enough to realize value added price for their produce? And for that, government is supporting at MSP, but in my opinion, the GDP, which is one third of China, the major reason is our farmers are not getting the new technology.
Technology,
So
correct.
first and foremost, efforts of the government should be in taking the technology to the farmers. I will like to quote from the budget speech of 2008, the then finance minister, Mr. P. Chidambaram. He said in his budget speech, our extension system has collapsed. I'm using his words from his budget speech. And we are looking for some alternate. But unfortunately, what happened, it was just budget speech and nothing has been done for transfer of technology. The present extension system which government is having and is spending huge money, I'm requesting government, please get audited. It is taxpayers' money which you are spending. And what is the outcome? If there is not outcome and farmers' income is not increasing by your present extension system, then why you are wasting taxpayers' money? Why don't you involve private sector? As government decision is that all public sector, they want to make private sector, they want to sell it out because they have failed to manage. Whatever may be the reason, I don't want to blame or go in depth, but Tata from one steel plant created thousands of factories and created a new economy in the country. And government of India's steel plant, how much they invested and what is the outcome? So similarly in agriculture, the government should involve the private sector, and now that is happening. Senior ministers has started consulting the private sector. What should be done? And we are suggesting that unless you have private sector, because without interest, for example, a government agriculture officer, he goes in the field or does not go, but he gets his salary on fast. Without any responsibility, without any answerability to what he has done. And China, you know, it's a communist country. Their people has to perform, otherwise their decisions are very quick. But in our country, people has understood their rights, especially in government, but not understood what are their duties. And until as each one realize their duty, the vision given by Honorable Prime Minister of New India, it will not be achieved until less government plans and fix the responsibility for each and every employee, and business sector should be opened as they have opened now agriculture sector. So now it will grow manifold.
Right.
If you control in control, nothing has grown. Telephone was controlled, aviation was controlled. What was the situation? Vehicles were monopoly of Ambassador or Fiat at that time, and that too waiting list of 10 years. Today you get any car at your doorstep.
Correct.
So it is a competition. Give freedom, and then you see the growth.
Correct.
In control, no sector has grown, and agriculture has not grown so far in our country because of this control policy of the government.
Right.
Which we appreciate now the corrective action they have taken.
Right. So with this, we've been talking about agriculture and Atmanirbharta. it is a noble vision, but do you think it will need really hard decisions and a political consensus to become Atmanirbhar with regards to agriculture?
Government decision is very good, appreciated, because a country which is not self-sufficient in food, it cannot sustain. Our government has equipped our forces with latest armory, but in agriculture, we have not provided latest technology and armory to our farmers. Our Insecticide Act, Fertilizer Control Act, and so many other acts. We want international companies to come in India, but the new pesticide management bill, which is presented in Rajya Sabha on 23rd March, there they have a condition of 5-year jail terms and 50 lakhs fine on some minor mistake. Who will come in this field? One side, our finance minister, while presenting budget, Mrs. Nirmala Sitharaman, under point number 82 this year said, in all commercial laws, we will do decriminalization. And recently in 19X, they proposed decriminalization. In number of companies act provisions, they have decriminalized. So unless government makes the environment and laws made industry friendly and as per international norms. One side we want to compete international market, but our laws are outdated of the time of ambassador. So both can't go together. If we want real growth in agriculture sector, then the laws and environment is also to be looked seriously by the government, and they are to be changed, made international friendly. Now people wants to come to India, as from China people want to make some different base. So our country is having lot of potential, but international companies are hesitating to come and invest in India because of these Draculan laws. These Draculan laws in today's time, as an industry, you say you will be in jail for 5 years or 50 lakh rupees fine. You have done this mistake, this error. If chairman or MD runs the company or they appoint professionals, they run the company. If suppose a product is 50%, it is tested 48%. Then what is the crime? The crime is who are smuggling. Even today, as per KPMG survey, the illegal grey market tax evasion is more than 1 lakh crore rupees. I'm talking total tax evasion. And in pesticide also, as per Ministry of Consumer Affairs survey done through in Academy of Indian Administrative Services, 58% agri inputs are fake in the rural area. Please imagine if farmers are getting 58% agri inputs fake, which may be seeds, which may be fertilizer, which may be pesticide, or maybe drip irrigation instrument or other agriculture implements. If in IT technology, in computer, whatever you input, accordingly output will come. If in agriculture your inputs are not good, then how you can expect output of international level? In one of the IRI program, while speaking, our Prime Minister said, our average yield is 2 tons per hectare, while world average is 3 tons. So at least we should achieve this world average for 3 tons. And if you see the highest yield, it may be 3, 4, 5 times than our yield.
Right.
For example, maize, our yield is 3 tons, while US is having 10 tons. Soybean, we have 10 quintals, while Brazil, US, Latin American, they have 3 times than our country. And that is the reason they have 3 times GDP. So these are small points.
Hmm. Hmm.
And they are to be, because I'm working in this field since 1968. So you can imagine this long experience I have got in this field. And I represent FICCI, Committee on Crop Protection Chemicals, as chairman of FICCI, this committee. So I representing government, and whatever these corrections has been done, there were industry lobbies, farmers lobby, and Niti Aayog, I will say. Their member of agriculture, Professor Ramesh Chand, he played the role of catalyst in changing these policies of giving freedom to agriculture of APMC Act or Essential Commodity Act or Lease Contract Farming Act. So other wherever these roadblocks are there, if they are removed, then our Prime Minister vision to make India a $5 trillion economy by 25 and doubling farmers' income by 22 is possible, because lot of potential is available, but unfortunately it is not exploited.
Correct. So, Mr. Agarwal, if you could just help me understand with the chemical, or even if you have to talk about the fertilizer as a sector, there is a lot of dependence on China for raw material imports. What needs to be done according to you to create a domestic alternative with regards to raw materials, especially?
You see, we are net exporter of pesticides. Our imports are to the tune of 10,000 crores, and exports from the country are more than 20,000 crore rupees. So we manufacture number of raw materials and pesticides, but yes, for some of the intermediates, we are dependent on China, because they offered very competitive prices, which was not even the cost. You see the price of electricity, the interest rate, they are offering 15% export subsidy. For pharmaceutical also, we are dependent on China for intermediates, and government has offered around 13,000 crore special package to pharmaceutical sector to develop the intermediates which are imported from China, and assured for a support of subsidy, so that these industries can sustain. If suppose I also make some product which is imported from China, and my cost is coming 20% higher than China, because I have to pay in this even Corona period, my factory was closed, and I'm asked to pay the minimum charges for an electricity meter. What is a pity? I have not used any electricity. Why I should be forced to pay the minimum charges? One side government want to give support, other side such Draconian laws which are impractical. So if we want, our government want that in this sector, we should also, Indian brain is very sharp. If you go to US, you go to Europe, every third scientist or doctor is an Indian, because they get atmosphere there. If our government provides support to our brain, which is drained out of India, our brain can come and they do wonders for our country also. Just they have to make law industry friendly and make environment. For example, Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe offered $2.2 billion package to their industries and order shift all the industries from China either to Japan or some other Asian country. And we are in negotiation with number of Japanese companies.
Correct.
And they say we want to come to India. But they say we don't want to come if your country is having this Draconian laws. So we have requested government, please relook this Draconian laws. If with this Draculan laws you want to attract foreign investment and new technology, just for your information of the members, no new technology of pesticide developed in our country. Whatever technology, it has come from international world,
Right,
abroad.
right.
And research of one product costs today more than 2000 crores
Hmm.
and to 10 to 12 years time. And that is the reason you would have seen last year consolidation of Dow DuPont, Monsanto, Bayer, FMC, Cominova, Syngenta, Chem China, Excel taken over by Sumitomo. So many consolidations you have seen because of this high research cost.
Correct.
So our government should start their institutions like CICR, NCL, etc. Original research also in country, because I don't think anybody in our country, at least in crop protection sector, is having this capacity to invest 2000 crore and wait 10 years for return.
Hmm. Agreed, on what you're saying on this front. So overall, now, if you have to talk about Dhanuka Agri as well, taking the agriculture growth into consideration, what's your expectation in terms of growth in FY21? And what are the new product launches can we see? How many are you looking to launch?
Yes, this year we are launching 3 new fungicides from Japan, because our registration system is so rotten. As per Insecticide Act, a new molecule registration should be granted within 1 year, and maximum they can extend by 6 months. But they are taking 5 years. And registration of a new molecule in India takes cost of 30-40 crores. And whatever wait is period it is delayed, cost is increasing every year.
Correct.
So we have got registration this year, 3 new fungicides, which we are launching on grapes. So far we are in formulation sector. Now we are in negotiation with number of Japanese companies and our US and American or European companies for whom we are working in India as co-marketers. They are also looking to shift their base or make additional base in India. And we have a 40-acre land in Dahej. There we are expanding our activities. We'll be putting our new formulation unit as well as some new technical pesticides plants also there. This year regarding growth, we are expecting very, very good growth. At least I can say double-digit growth. Our first quarter results were there, and second quarter results also we are expecting very good. But exact number I will not be in position to
Correct,
share.
that's fine. Right. So overall, apart from this, what is it that you think needs to be done for the sector? Because on the export front as well, because I was just reading that there have been 14 states that have finalized their action plan for the agri-export policy. What is your view on it? Because again, exposure to the Indian farmers to international terms of trade and policy is something which is needed as well.
You are very right. India grows 554 crops. Also, you would not be knowing, or so many people will not be knowing that 554 type of crops are grown in our country, which is nowhere in the world. So, lot of crops has very good potential for export all over the world. Today you see in this COVID period, our turmeric, haldi. Now golden milk is more popular in US than India.
Correct.
which is just turmeric. So there are so many products from our country which has export potential. You see in our TV ad, almonds from California, not any individual company. So our country also not to go international market as individual company. We should also develop, which is government planning, for example, basmati rice.
Correct.
So we should promote basmati of India. For example, our tea. We export most of the tea in bulk. But if we do value addition and do it in packing, then value increase many times.
Correct.
So we have to understand in agri produce value addition. Today hardly whatever we produce 2-3% we are processing and rest we are consuming. While in world 40-50-60% crops are processed. So in our country also now segregation of the quality wise and processing of food. Food processing industry is also developing in a big way. And when you do value addition, then a share of the same will go to farmers also. Today what happened, farmer get 10 rupees kilo tomato price and in city we are paying 80 rupees kilo.
Correct.
Huge difference. Now when government allows farmer, I can go and purchase from farmer and I say him, okay, I'm getting 80 rupees kilo in city, I'll pay you 30 rupees kilo. He will be happy, consumer will be happy. So we have to more focus by the government how they can link the talk from field to fork. So
Correct.
policies are made. Then how it is implemented. So here farmer is also benefited and consumer is also benefited.
Correct.
Today farmer is not getting right price and consumer is paying from his nose.
Correct.
So this difference is to be, if middleman is working, yes, they should also have their proper margin. Everyone whosoever is involved in the chain, they should get their reasonable share. But so far it is, the sufferer was the farmer and money was made by the middleman.
Correct.
Now with this old system of 10,000 FPOs, now farmer will also get a good chunk of money. And that is going to be the future of our country. If farmer will have their right kind of money, profit, then rural infrastructure government is investing by taking pakka roads to every village. Then if our all villages, they have electrified, roads are taken, if infrastructure is done, then earlier so many villages they were not connected with the cities. Now with these roads reaching to every village, they will be connected with the cities. Otherwise, they were hardly getting any price for their produce. But when they can bring into cities, they can get much better prices. And government has to go on supporting infrastructure. I will repeat, government should invest maximum on technology, infrastructure, quality, inputs, and technology transfer by involving private sector. We don't want money from private government. They can give some income tax rebate, the companies who are investing for extension, and they can make for private sector conditions. If you are working this district, if you will produce this much result, then you will get this.
Right.
Otherwise, both ways losing. One where taxpayers' money is spent and no results are coming. So government has to think like every businessman. If a money is spent from government side in anywhere, what is the outcome? Today, one side we face drought, other side flood. What is
Right.
this nuisance? How many years it will continue?
Mm.
Can't we store this water when it is coming?
Correct.
So if we can make policy, government has understood and make a new water resource ministry.
Mm.
But education is most important. When in rainy days water come, then each village earlier they were supposed to be a pond, and the rainwater, maximum water was collected in the pond. So you were getting less water in the rivers.
Mm.
Now with the time when you started getting water from the tap, people forget the importance of water bodies. Now again, this is very, very important for agriculture to revive in every village water body. Then our problem of flood and drought both will be solved. And it is experience. Where our water is there is automatically production is doubled.
Correct.
Major problem is in rain-fed areas where water is not assured,
Mm.
their yield is very low.
Mm.
If we talk of average yield, that is 2 tons. But in Punjab you go, Haryana you go, they get 5 tons yield also. So why not that can be repeated throughout country?
Mm.
Why we can't bring farmers from other areas and make them visit these farmers? Please see, they are also your brothers. If they can take 5 tons production, why can't you take? Instead of wasting the money in the rotten system of extension, where taxpayers' money is wasted, and some people don't like me because I talk honest and frank.
No,
Because
but
these
that
days
is what
I'm not
is needed. Correct.
So one has to see the penny spent, that is public money, and that money must give return
Mm.
to each citizen of the country, because that is public money. Tax is not someone's property. It is government's, it is all citizens' property, whatever tax is coming. And whatever money in whichever sector it is spent, I can guarantee, if this suggestion of water bodies is implemented
Mm.
in every village, then our agriculture income will be doubled automatically. And if other technology is made available and our government promote export, like each developed country has got a agriculture attaché in their embassies. So our government should also appoint in all important countries a special agriculture attaché in our embassies who should promote our agriculture, produce, export.
Mm. Right. So overall, very lastly, Mr. Agarwal, let me ask you one question for the company. Do you think because of the demand that has gone up right now for agriculture, this could be one of the best years for Dhanuka Agri as well?
Yes, yes, madam, very well. You are rightly said. This is going to be one of the best year for Dhanuka.
Yes.
And I hope it is not only for Dhanuka.
Mm.
I hope for our total farmers, our farming community, our rural community, and to my other good industries in this sector. I hope all should perform well. And if they perform well, our farmers get right input, they will perform well. And this is a circle. If in circle everybody performs well, then it will be overall very good growth for our country. We should think not for individual. As a nationalistic, we should think for our nation, for our country. Think of Japan, which was destroyed in Second World War. And where is Japan? Where are we? In Japan, Tokyo, 14 private companies metros run. Nothing government, everything is private.
Correct.
Why we want to run the business in government sector which is not successful? Why don't we develop and support the private sector to, and wherever private sector has come in the business, you see the manifold growth, and wherever government involved, you see the comparison, which present government I appreciate. The present leadership of government of India under our Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, we are on the right path.
Correct.
But it's still down the channel. Instead of, if there's some roadblock, instead of removing those roadblocks, there are some people and there are some activists. They are funded from international agencies who don't want to see growth in our country.
Right.
And they fund to the people, okay, put this road, block this road. And our government has to recognize such activists
Correct.
who are putting these unnecessary roadblocks. Such activists who are playing negative role, that should also be recognized by the government, and they should not be allowed to do their negative work in our country. And government should decide, for example, drones. All over the world, in developed countries, pesticides are sprayed through drones. In our country, still the no drones policy is there.
Correct.
Why? Recently, on our persuasion, on 15th August, they have agreed in fundamental. Yes, we allow, in principle, we agreed to allow drones also for our country for use in agriculture. But still the policy is to be framed, and we are in touch with the concerned ministries with a request. Please finalize earliest. Today, our border forces are fully armored. We have Rafale, and our country is in simultaneously is in position to face the challenge from China and Pakistan also. Similarly, if we provide latest armory to our farmers, without rural development, without farmers development, we cannot imagine $5 trillion economy in the country.
Correct. Correct.
We cannot expect permanent growth. We cannot expect overall sustainability. And if we want our country to grow, then we have to focus towards farmers who are more than 50%, who live in rural areas, and agriculture contribution is just 17% of total GDP. And you see one side more than 50%, they are getting only 17% GDP. So it is not justified, and we have to see how we can increase the rural income, and each one of us work in that direction. Then nothing is difficult. I don't believe it cannot happen. It will happen in our country.
It just needs the right direction and execution, I think.
Yes, right direction has been given by government in my opinion, but we are lacking in execution. We are very selfish, to be honest. I don't know how far I am right. We have become selfish. Each one of us, इस country में कुछ नहीं हो सकता, कुछ नहीं होगा, या ऐसा ही चलता है, ऐसा ही चलेगा. The mentality we have got. While you talk to any Japanese or any Chinese, or European, US people, they have changed.
Mm.
So why we can't change?
Absolutely. I think that's something which all of us have to look at as well. But thank you, Mr. Agarwal, so much for joining us. It was a pleasure speaking to you and great insights that we picked up. We will see you once again as things improve from here on. But kudos to your thoughts as well. And thank you so much. Stay safe.
Thank you. Thank you very much for this opportunity and well wishes in this COVID period to all your viewers and members. Be safe, take care for yourself, take care for your family, and wish you good luck. Thank you.
Thank you.